saying? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden football on
Coach, thanks. We're about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Washington Redskins and our home team. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Haskins, and he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A quick throw here out to Cobb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
That's complete to Cobb. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Haskins going to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time, and it's 3rd and short. Here are the starters defensively for the Chargers. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Haskins on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over. But he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
So here come the Chargers with a long field ahead of them. They'll be left outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie. Mitchell Trubisky.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll run. This is Hill. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
First down, and it's Hill again. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for L.A. And even 50 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now Haskins on 1st down. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw, Haskins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give the Redskins 13 there and a 1st down. A look at the numbers from a week ago for Reed. 6 catches, 72 yards. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Redskins with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the... This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. It's Hill, complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Throwing on 2nd down, Haskins. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with pressure. Gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. Second down. 2 minutes on the clock. Second quarter. 7-0 ball game. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be along. Williams loses the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Haskins gets him up to the line as quick as he can. Another try after the first down sack. Haskins, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now Trubisky on first down. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On is the Chargers punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18.
Come on, fellas.
So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll get started by the Bay. Cincinnati traveling west to take on Oakland. And it's the Bengals in control at halftime. Tyler Boyd, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we'll take the trip east to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Phillip Rivers.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. By the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he'll find Hall. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now we'll hook up downfield on second down. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 26.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Staying on the ground with Mack. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third down, here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken at the 23. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
They'll try and run forward with Hill. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They run. It's Hill. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And the ball is knocked out. And the defense, from a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Trubisky to throw, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. They have the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled, and that's where we are right now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
56, Mike, 56, right there, right there.
They complete it to Hill. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Check. Alert, alert. Alert, alert.
They're going to run. This is Gordon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.